Hey, what's going on? It's Eric, and this is going to be a tattoo video. So if you're not into tattoos, you're not going to be into this. Today I'm going to talk about black tattooing. All right, I got 3 different inks here. I'll just go over them one at a time. I got Pelikan. This is like the old school Pelikan ink that we used to use all the time, and you just have to boil it down a little bit too. To boil it down, if you can get your hands on this now, which is kind of hard, unless you're in Europe. I think Europe has it, but if you're in America, it's kind of tough, and expensive. But if you get it, if you use it straight, it heals a little light. So if you're doing tribal or anything that needs really dark black, it's going to heal a little light. So you boil it down. You get a double boiler. You pour it in a double boil, water in the bottom, ink on the top. And you boil it down to about, I would say about 25%, like a quarter of it off, or a third even if you want it really dark, and after that, that's it. But use like a toothpick as a dipstick. Put it in the top, measure it with a toothpick, put the toothpick down, and, boil it, let it simmer. The steam will come off it, and that's the water evaporating. And, then measure it again. You keep measuring it until you're down about, 25% or a third, 30% or something. And you'll have a nice black. And then to lighten it up with the gray wash, you add water. And it gives you the best grays. This is like the old school black and gray tattoos. This is what everybody used. But it's kind of hard to get now. And when this became like unavailable and hard to come by, I tried all these different kind of inks and they all sucked. They were all too black for black and gray work. You try to feather it out nice and smooth, you end up with little black dots that could work in some things, but sometimes you want that smooth gray smoky look, which the dots just screw that all up. So then I found this is actually, I just got this Waverly Bluebird. Okay, waverlycolor.com, I think it is. You just Google Waverly tattoo ink, it'll come up. And excuse me, man, I'm drinking soda all day. And so what was I saying about this? Yeah, Waverly Color. And this is actually just like the Pelikan. They call it Bluebird because they're telling you that it's just like Pelikan. You see the Bluebird? This used to be called Yellow Label because this label was yellow years and years ago when I first started. That's like 31 years ago. But then it changed over time. They made it blue, but I always called it Yellow Label even though it was blue. But everyone called it Yellow Label. But Drawing Ink A, Pelikan Drawing Ink A, it's got a blue label now. And so they call this Bluebird. It's closest you're going to get to boiled down Pelikan. You don't have to do anything to this. Just use it straight out of the bottle. You don't have to boil it down. It's already done for you. And it's the closest you're going to get to Pelikan. It's not exactly the same, but it's pretty freaking close. I didn't even be exact. You know what I mean? I never did it. I like to maybe do a tattoo with Pelikan and tattoo with this, and then put them side by side and see what they look like. But this is the closest you're going to get to Pelikan. And what's cool about Waverly is I just ordered this, 1 bottle of ink. So they sent me this, and then they also sent me a little, I don't know, what is this, a 1-2 ounce bottle of Adobe Color. They always send a little bottle. I got a whole shitload of these little bottles of color ink, and they're pretty good too. And they also sent me stickers, sent me a whole crap load of stickers. A couple there, got a bunch here, Pretty cool. I like the skateboard one. Skateboard one is cool. And even got the black flag one. That's pretty cool too. But so Waverly is. Here's the website right here. WaverlyColor.com. There it is. I'm a friend of Bill Waverly. I don't even know Bill Waverly, but if you order from him, you're his friend. So you gotta stick that on your car. And they also sent this for nothing. The shop rag. It's got the skateboard logo on it, which is pretty cool. So that's, you know, you really see that a lot in tattoo companies now, because, you know, they're all a bunch of fucking bastards and they don't send you shit. You're lucky you get what you order. And so yeah, so that's what Pelican and Waverly. And then the other ink, last one I'm going to talk about is Sumi brush painting ink. Now if you use Sumi, you'll see in the tattoo catalogs they have an ink called Sumi ink. It's not real Sumi brush painting ink. You have to get the Sumi. No, tattoo places don't sell this. Any supplies, they don't sell this. You got to go to an art place like I know Michael's might have it, or you go to Jerry's Artorama or Dick Blick, something like that. Online places that, and you get Sumi E brush painting ink. See right here, made in Japan. It's Japanese brush painting ink. This is made from. Pretty sure it's made out of pine resin soot. And the thing with this, if you use this straight, it'll heal light. It'll heal like adding water, 25% water to black. So it's going to heal light. You're not going to do tribal with this or anything black with this. And the thing with this, what's cool about the Sumi is, see this right here? It's like a silvery tinge to the gray wash. Only Sumi ink will heal with that will heal with that silvery tinge. So, you know, if the guy that did this, it's actually Kurt Wiscombe did this on me. But if he would have used Pelican, it would have healed black like the rest of it. So you see, it kind of separates it. It's it's a gray wash done with the Sumi, so it healed like a silvery tinge. But it has to be the Sumi brush painting ink made for brush painting, not the Sumi tattoo ink made for tattooing. That's the only thing. And this is a small bottle. You could get, you know, they come in bigger bottles. You know, sometimes they're round, but they're kind of always shaped like this. And I don't even know the name of the company, Yasamoto or something like that, man. But yeah, it doesn't say, it's all written in freaking Japanese. I don't read Japanese, so. But yeah, so that's the Sumi ink. So those are the blacks that I use. I use Bluebird for my black and gray and my solid black, and I use Sumi if I got to shade something in and I want like a different contrast. And that's about it. I think I got, what else we got here? Waverly also makes ink dark black. This is, I put it in this bottle and I kind of cut the label to, so I know what it is. So you know, this will come in a bottle like this, you know what I mean? And it's pretty dark, man. If you're gonna do tribal or something and you want a really dark black, maybe for covering something up, this is the way to go. I don't use it much anymore. I use the Bluebird all the time. And so that's that. And I guess that's about it. Let's see what I got written here. Oh, man. About gray wash I wanted to tell you about, too. You could get gray wash, like, pre-watered down. But the thing with that is, why would you pay for ink that's watered down? You could just water it down yourself. So in other words, if you bought a bottle of ink, let's say, I don't know, an 8-ounce bottle of ink of solid black, straight black, it'll be, I don't know, let's make up a price, say $20. Now you get the 50% gray wash of that same ink, it's $20. But it's only half ink and half water. It's like, why would you pay $20 for someone to just add water to your ink? Why don't you just get the full bottle of ink and add the water yourself? Now you have like more ink. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. The only gray wash I could think of doing that with is Joel's got, Joel McDonald has an ink. It's, what's it called? Something bloodline or blood ink or something. It's a gray wash and it's got like a red tinge to it, which is awesome. and you really can't do that yourself. It's his own secret recipe, you know what I mean? So that ink I could see getting, because, you know, there's no other way to do that. You know, and even if you knew how, you know, to add that red tinge, well, why would you do all that work? You just buy it already pre-made, you know what I mean? So other than that, to get watered down gray wash is just ridiculous, man. Don't even, just water it down yourself, you know? And actually, it's weird because something's with the gray wash. If you pre-water down your gray wash, it doesn't, I don't know, it's just something with it. It doesn't look the same when it's healed than if you water it down fresh for each tattoo. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if the pigment's soaking in the water or what it is, but it's usually, it works easier and it looks nicer when you water it down as you go. So to even have pre-dispersed bottles of gray wash, I mean, yeah, you can say, oh, the consistency, but come on, if you can't fill an ink cap up halfway with ink and halfway with water, if you can't judge that over and over again, there's something wrong with you, man. It's the easiest thing in the world. And it just, I don't know, it just works a lot better when it's cheaper if you do it yourself, and it comes out nicer when you do it yourself too. And the water I use I just use regular tap water, man. Same water I drink. You know, you might hear people scream, pull their hair out, oh, you use tap water for that. I know 90% of tattoo artists I know that aren't pretentious assholes use tap water also. There's nothing wrong with tap water. You know, you could use bottled water too if you want to say, okay, you know what, I'll use bottled water then. But like, oh, you got to use distilled water because it's sterile. It's like, yeah, I got news for you. Distilled water isn't sterile. Distilled water, it's still, bacteria is still free to grow in distilled water. The tap water is safer than they did a test, and tap water was safer in most areas. Unless you know there's something fucked up with your water, don't use it, you know what I mean? But if you live like here in New York, we got city water, and there's nothing wrong with our New York City water. Supposedly it's the best water in the country. And, there's no bacteria in it. People won't get sick from drinking New York City water. It's never happened. I don't know if it's never happened, but it hasn't happened in a long time if it had. So to say not to use tap water is just ridiculous. It's just you're making more work for yourself, and you're just complicating things. And distilled water, you're not, maybe you're pretending to be like a savior or something, but you're not doing anything by using distilled water. You're just satisfying your own pretentious fucking whatever the hell you call it. And so that's it. So you just use regular old water, and that's it. If you want to say you don't want to use tap water, or if you live, what's that state that has all their water is screwed up? I forgot what it is already. Then you could use bottled water. You know what I mean? But don't use distilled water. I just can't even stand distilled water. It's not even made for human consumption. You're not even supposed to drink distilled water. So why would you be pumping it in people's skin? It just doesn't make sense. And I guess that's about it. So yeah, I'll talk to you later.